What's going down, guys? So let's start it off like this. Everybody's kind of going back. A lot of channels are going back to what I started, what I've said, and way since the beginning. So I've always thought Paddock never fired a shot. I just had that feeling. That's where the evidence has led me. Just being a gun guy, nothing adds up. The radio traffic doesn't add up. They kind of hide some stuff. They're trying to cover their tracks in some ways. So UFO Hunter was talking about all the time and radio traffic, and then Chris Slate brought up some good points about the radio traffic and how they were supposed to switch to a different channel, but they never did. And they kind of give away a bunch of hidden secrets in there. And my buddy Chris White, he's going to be doing a video tonight on the radio traffic. And he's going to tell you that I'm not even going to... I almost slipped and told him right there, Chris, but I'm not going to give it away. But we were just on the phone talking about it, and I've always thought the same thing. So when you watch his video, no, that's what I was thinking. You know, because I agreed with him. No, I've always thought that. But, okay. So Campos' story is shady, right? We all know that. I've said that from day one. He's always been guilty. Shook was just thrown in there to make the Campos story more believable. They switched the revised timeline to make Campos' story more believable, which I've always said was bogus. We're working backwards and forwards and then backwards and forwards. Me and Chris were just talking about that, but we only have a certain amount of information, so sometimes I think people overthink it, and we work so hard, and that's why I missed so much in the Fit Report, and I've been going back and finding stuff. But like the number of guns that he owned and to what they found in all the houses, we're still missing 30-some guns, and it's none of it makes sense, guys. None of it. So we're working tirelessly, endless hours. I can't even tell you how many hours I've put into Vegas. It's probably over 1,500 hours. I've looked at everything. I've interviewed people. I'm going to interview more people. But it's kind of weird all these bigger channels are going back to what I had said. So, when Paddock's autopsy, they didn't tell us a bunch. The coroner's report didn't tell us actually when he died. Because, you know, in the Fit Report, the warrants were saying that the SWAT team engaged him and they watched him, like UFO Hunter was saying, they watched him commit suicide, but the breach was 72 minutes after. So what was he doing up there for all that time after he was shooting, or whoever was shooting? The sound analysis doesn't even match up to the distance at Mandalay Bay. Corey Langdon taxi cab video. Shots sound like they're farther away. They say those are the ones down the hallway. But I wish I could rent a high-rise building and test all these theories. The bus stop video, you hear 2 single shots. And, you know, Paddock only had 1 bullet hole in his head. But that doesn't make sense. Come on, guys. We got to get back to the basics and start with what we know. We know that the Campos story is bogus. We know that the timeline is bogus. And the one thing, if you guys have been one of my subs from the beginning, I've never believed in the helicopter theory. But there is a helicopter. There's 2 sketchy helicopters that night. MH488, MH, I don't know the number right now. I don't have my notes in front of me. And I've looked at it so many times, I don't even want to remember the number anymore, but I can find it. But it goes and after the shooting, it flies out to the 3rd section in from the freeway. And it just goes dark. They show it stop there, and that's it. So what happened there? I have no idea. But I mean, it's something to look into. We know that they revised the timeline. This is back to basics again. We know that they revised the timeline to make Campos' story more believable. They threw Shuck in there to make Campos' story more believable. Okay? Some of the witnesses reports, that Brian Hodge guy, he wasn't right by Paddock. He wasn't hiding in the bushes for 7 hours. And hopefully I get to talk to that guy. If I don't get, I'm going to touch on this too before I get to, or I don't, if I don't bring it up now, I probably won't. But if I don't get in touch with you guys, or like somebody messages me, I have so many emails coming. I got so many text messages coming. I got honey winners that are awesome. I enjoy that. I got people wanting honey. I have people that want to be interviewed. I have subs contacted me, tell me this, look into that, and I'm not complaining about any of it. All I'm saying is I have to have time for everything. You know, my dad got hurt. My wife has a deal on Friday I got to take her to. My neighbor broke his leg. My other neighbor broke his ankle. I've been everywhere. So don't feel bad if it takes me a day to get back to you. I mean, I don't want you upset, because it's not like I'm totally purposely, you know, putting you off, because I'm not. And Captain Hollywood, if you're listening, you probably will be listening. We were out here working on the tractor. My dad, I made him some lunch, got a bloody nose, and then we're going to get back to the tractor. But, look, guys. Okay, why was, like UFO Hunter said, why was his leg underneath the rifle? That was somebody telling us something right there. Why was the paper and pin and or whatever that thing was in the roll of tape moved? That's something somebody telling us. The pictures were leaked not to help us out, because they would have rather not liked it leaked out, because that makes their lone wolf story more plausible if we don't know about this other stuff. None of it's making sense, guys. This is bigger and deeper than we all thought. Okay, some people are just like, they're done with it. Too much sketchy shit going on with, you know, this and that in between the channels. Some commenters that are trolls are trying to make channels fight with each other. It's a bunch of BS, and it's taking us away from our real work, our real investigation to find the truth. And then you have I'm not knocking anybody's work, because that's not what I do. I'm just telling you, there's channels out there that are working really hard and long hours, and they're just, you know, going crazy. And then if I post that I have total evidence, they actually were, they pulled the video down and redid it and everything. So I have worked tirelessly, guys. I don't have a lot of fancy stuff. I've just been doing footwork, phone calls, and looking everything on my phone. And then if I don't see anything on my phone, I'll send it to somebody and say, hey, can you look and what? And blah, blah, blah. But we're going to have to get back to working together as a team. There is no I in team, but there's an I in win. And we can win this thing. We can win it with the truth and facts. So we have to get back together as a community. Stop the fighting back and forth between the channels and just work together. Chris Slate, you do awesome work. I've emailed you, and you know a lot about this whole thing, and you leave good comments, and I appreciate it. There's people out there, guys, that are just commenters that know a lot more than channels themselves. And we need everybody like that on a team to work together to find this. And everybody needs to stop the BS. You know, trolls, knock it off. You're not doing anybody any good by getting channels to fight. You're not doing good by getting anybody riled for no reason. It's a bunch of nonsense. We're doing this because people died, people lost friends, people lost family. We need to get back together, guys. You know, come to an understanding. JB does great work. JB has some awesome stuff that he needs to put out. Chris White is another smart guy who spends all his extra time on this. These guys all know a lot, and we need to hear from all of them. So I have put in a lot of hours. UFO Hunters put in a lot of hours. There's a lot of channels that have put in a lot of hours. Let's all come together, start at the basics, and move forward. And I think we'll come to a lot closer understanding of what happened and who did it, if that's what we do. So, Sleep Dip, I've been working with him. It's so hard for me to get things out here living this far out, but that's how it works. I do have some tests coming out. I am a farmer. I do have to farm. I'm putting the tractor back together. There's all these things that have to happen, and there's only 24 hours in a day. Let me check my Fitbit. I bet you I got like 4.5 hours of sleep last night. And guess what I do? When everybody finally goes to sleep, that's when I turn back Vegas stuff on again. And then for a couple hours, I'm just on Vegas. And then finally, I have to get some sleep. But now that the weather's nice, I have to do more farming stuff. So my dad's only here for a short time. That's why we want to get all this stuff going. But we need to come together. So, were some of the helicopters involved? I believe there was something to do with the helicopter. Do I believe there was any shooting out of a helicopter? No.
Dad?
Hi, baby. You got Allie?
Yeah.
Oh, you got scratched.
God.
Say hi.
Yeah.
Love you. I love my kids. So, we know. Why did it take them so long to breach the room? They didn't know that it was just another 2-minute gap of him reloading, or whoever was reloading, or they were fixing the room, or whatever the case may be. But there was just so much extras in that room that was not even needed. Ammo, extra gloves, extra rooms, extra beds being slept in, extra chonies, extra sandals, extra drills, extra tools. For what? For what? People were saying this about one door, about 32, 134. The door is cut on the bottom. People said it was debunked, but it's not debunked. The door looks broken half in one picture. The other picture looks fine. This was all set up, guys. This is what they wanted you to see to fit their agenda. Well, it is what it is. I'm going to come back to you later. Chris White, look for his channel. Sub to him. He's going to be coming out with a video tonight. And go sub to all the channels. Go support everybody. Let's get back to being a unit. But alright guys, hammer down. If you guys could help with anything, go to my PayPal. You guys could go to my website, farmersfortruth.com. And I am working on that with Anthony. He's going to make it linked directly to my YouTube. And we're going to try to get a store set up, and which would be totally cool, because I'm going to start working on other things too, guys, with the time I got. So everybody said that you guys wanted me to do other reporting, and it'll be coming to you. So hammer down, guys. Farmers for Truth, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.